Well, here's a look at what's trending on Twitter this morning. What do we have, guys?
We have hashtag lunar eclipse.
Okay, well, that makes sense. At 3:06 this morning, we did have a lunar eclipse. And what that is it's very simple. It's actually ridiculously simple. It's simply when the Earth passes in between the moon and the sun. And the moon passes into the shadow cast by the Earth. So typically this is referred to as the blood moon, and the reason for that is because the only faint light that does actually make it to the moon during a lunar eclipse has to pass through our atmosphere. If you take a step back, if you can imagine yourself floating away
There's
from
a little
Earth,
bit of it.
yeah, you can see a hint of that right now. And typically you'd get this, or you would get the light that passes through the atmosphere, our atmosphere, and it gets refracted or bent a little bit, and often it's encountering a decent amount of volcanic dust, ash, it's encountering particulate matter. Well, in this case, believe it or not, our atmosphere has been relatively clean lately. The stratosphere has been relatively clear, so we didn't get as much coloring as we would in the past. So, but that's why us in the mainstream media, we often call it the blood moon, because it's usually a really deep, dark red, and it actually looks pretty scary. But in this case, it was just a slight reddish tint.
Okay,
So I guess Twilight fans like Peter Hall are a little bit disappointed in this showing that we had.
And my wife is a huge Twilight fan, and I went to, and I enjoyed the movies as well.
I love Vanessa, so I'm going to back off on that.
Good husband saying that.
I see full pink moon right there, and all I can think about is Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon,
It just keeps popping up into my head.
Unfortunately, as you probably saw, if anybody did try and watch it this morning, it wasn't the best viewing conditions because we had so many clouds around, which was anticipated, unfortunately. But one of our former workers here, Chris McGrath, who's down in Florida now, he works in West Palm Beach. He was tweeting out this morning, and I saw a photo that one of his reporters saw. So it was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
Great shots.
Yeah, and our photographer, Tom, he was running around outside, couldn't find anything.
Poor guy.
Well, you know what you can find is us on Twitter and Facebook. We would love to hear from you this morning. We'll be right back.